Guys, one in a different way. I know Coach Heupel was like, man, I haven't been through one of these in a while, low-scoring, close game. What was that like for you guys to sort of grind that out and have your defense come up so big for you?
Yeah, that was right when you said it. That was going to be the first thing that I mentioned was just the defense and how, you never really feel like you're out of it or like you don't have a chance, right? I think it's really cool whenever you can have that trust on the other side of the ball to go out there and just continue to stop them, continue to give us opportunities to, figure it out and put the ball in the end zone or put the ball through the uprights, whatever it was. I think all three phases worked really well together the other day and come out with a win. I think that's all you can really ask for, right? You take an ugly win over a really pretty loss any day. So I think we're just happy to win the game, man, and come out of that with a win.
Jacob, when you scored the touchdown against Virginia, it kind of broke a streak. Now you've got 3 on the season, and I think the Titans have scored in every game the season except for the one you lost.
Yeah.
What is it about you down there the red zone this year where you feel like you're one of Joe's targets?
I think just personally developing my game to the point where I can show up and make plays like that. I'm not doing anything spectacular or crazy or out of the ordinary. Just kind of be in the right positions and put myself in position to make those plays has been a big thing for me. Obviously, opportunity comes. You want to make the best of it, and I think that's what the tight ends have done, up to this point, and had some good success.
There was an interesting and funny play on the game where the ball kind of ricocheted off of Dante Thornton and McCallan was there for the catch. What was the reaction on the sideline? Have you guys talked about that at all?
Stuff like that happens a lot. Like I guess just around ball and at practice it will happen sometimes, and just one of those things that you don't really play for, but I think you just be around the ball and you play really hard, you play really fast, and good things happen, and you kind of just stumble upon big opportunities, and that was really big for him. Just to kind of be in that space and be able to make that play. Obviously, that play changes kind of the way that the game is played. If you go back and look at it, just the way the film and the way that the game played out after that, kind of turned the tides a lot for us. Just being able to move the ball and getting first downs and stuff like that. So definitely a huge play, and it was cool that it happened that way.
Jacob, y'all had pre-snap issues at Georgia last year and Florida earlier this season, some communication issues. What needs to be different this week to not allow that to happen again?
Man, just being us. Obviously, we'll practice with it, and we'll hear it all week, and we'll hear their songs all week. We'll hear crowd noise all week. Just being able to focus, man, just lock in, and I think that a lot of the problems come from just that, man. It's just lapse in focus, or you're thinking about something else, or you're thinking about, maybe your job or where your guy is. You're supposed to be blocking, but at the end of the day, is the most important thing is can we eliminate penalties? Can we play clean? I know Cooper's going to do a great job of leading. I'll talk to him here in a minute, so that's a question maybe for him. But he'll do a great job, and we'll be on the right calls, and Joe will do great, and hopefully it won't be a problem.
Jacob, you said you'd take an ugly win over a pretty loss. Speaking offensively, you guys ran the ball. There wasn't much downfield passing. Can you win at Alabama with the way you guys played the other night?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Let me think about my answer here. Yeah, anybody can win any game, any given week, right? I think you look at the scores, and this has nothing really to do with it, right? But Texas A&M plays a really similar game to Alabama that we play them, right? And Texas A&M has an extremely good defensive front. Alabama has an extremely good defensive front, right? As long as we're able to control the line of scrimmage and we're able to move the ball, whether it's through the air or on the ground. That's really the end goal, is to be able to move the ball down the field, put the ball in the end zone. That's one thing we have to focus on for sure, moving forward, not necessarily just this week, but just finishing drives, right? Putting the ball in the end zone, getting points, getting 7 points whenever we're down there. Defense, again, being strong, standing up, making a lot of big plays, and then special teams being able to put us in, cool opportunities where D. Williams is able to, get a return and finally get in the end zone and just do these things that, we all know are capable every single week, regardless of who we're playing. So it's kind of cool to see everything just kind of come together.
So Wes, Vince, and then Ben.
Jacob, aside from the touchdown catch that you had there in the red zone, it seemed like a lot of the red zone was a struggle against A&M, and that's a good defensive front, a good front seven. I'm sure that was part of it, but how much of that was stuff they were doing to y'all, and how much of that was just stuff y'all were just not executing? Yeah,
all we can do is just look at what we're doing wrong, right? There's nothing that the other team does that, if we're in the right call and we got the right, it's on us, right? A lot of the stuff is self-inflicted, and a lot of the stuff is things that we can control, and Whether it's penalties, I think that was a big story on Saturday. It was just how many penalties we had and just kind of putting ourselves in bad situations with the chains. But just being able to capitalize on all those opportunities is the way that you go really far in this thing and you win those really big games.
You mentioned Alabama's defense a little bit. Seemingly they lose guys to the NFL every year,
Sure.
yet they still play really good defense. Anything specific that stands out about their defense?
I haven't gotten time to watch a whole lot of it. That's something I'll kind of get into as we go along here. But, man, yeah, they have great players, right? They recruit great players, and they play the guys that are the best out of that pool of guys. So, obviously, they're going to be really good talents. They're going to be strong, fast, physical. But we also have really good players, too. We have strong, fast, physical offensive linemen, strong, fast, physical tight ends, backs, quarterback that'll go out there and that'll meet the call every single week. So that's pretty much that.
A&M and Alabama's defensive fronts are kind of talked about similarly, and I know you haven't watched the film yet, but how much can you draw from the experience this past weekend going into Tuscaloosa facing a similar defensive front?
Man, just handling your one-on-ones, being able to steal double teams when we can, being able to climb to backers. It's just the fundamentals of football that you learn when you're a kid. Understanding scheme, understanding how our scheme fits with the different fronts that they're in. The bodies are just bodies, right? End of the day, it doesn't really matter who the name is or who the face is. If you're able to execute, have good feet, have good hands, good hat, then things will work out for you in the run game.